Today on the Time Show, Bud Light tries a bribe of $150 million to maintain shelf space and distributors. UAW strike expands to the Dodge Ram truck plant. UAW October 20th live stream, but without censorship and with my charming personality. Maxim names a biological man one of the 100 hottest women. Jelly Beans, well, the company has been sold. Geico announces a layoff of 6% of their staff. Chevron to buy Hess for $53 billion. And the Ford Mustang E-Mach is recalled due to an error from simply accelerating the vehicle. All that much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder released twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT there or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers, so if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going on to the business part of the podcast, you have Jelly Beans sold to Ferrara Candy Company. Now, interestingly enough, Ferrara they actually previously owned and based in Chicago. They're the maker of more than 20 brands, including Nerds, Sweet Tarts, Black Forest, and Trolley. So throughout these years, you wonder, where on earth do these gelatinous worms come from? And unfortunately, due to false advertising as a child, I almost believe they certainly grew in the ground. Well, quite the antithesis. They're actually mostly chemicals and factory made these days. They're not free reign for the organically inclined in the audience, so a little disappointing in that regard. Nevertheless, Ferrara said that the sale involves nearly 800 Jelly Belly workers in the facilities in California, Illinois, and Thailand, but they did not spell out any planned changes for that footprint when, as a spokesperson said, any details the company is able to publicly share are now at this time. So I can't help but think, if you just buy a giant company, and this company, for reasons, they have factories and facilities in California and Illinois. Yes, those are the antithesis for most businesses due to regulation, costs. Yeah, they're just so absorbent. I can't imagine trying to buy a house or rent anything over there. So, yeah, if I were a gambling man, if I was a new owner of that company, I would say short-term cost, it will be a pretty penny. Well, these days, pennies are usually worthless. They're 99.99% zinc. So perhaps a pretty vintage penny is more accurate since they were made of real copper back in the day. And I would say, well, a pretty vintage penny upfront cost, yes, it'll cost a lot of money to move the factories in the short term. However, the sales in the aggregate, or the savings in the aggregate, will be so overwhelming, we have to move these facilities to Texas, Florida. You know, some states are much more friendly and attractive for businesses. Also states that don't have income taxes. Employees tend to like that. It's a nice little benefit. So it'll be interesting to see if they choose to relocate those actual facilities. Now, in terms of fun company history of the Jelly Beans, they were founded in Illinois in 1869. And incredibly enough, they have still maintained to be in business in Illinois for that long, when many businesses have been leaving in droves. Boeing, one of the most iconic companies, left their Chicago office and headquarters months ago, as every company, again, is just struggling to make ends meet. And Chicago has a lot of issues, including more taxes you can possibly comprehend, and as well as a city that's as safe as, I can't think of a metaphor ridiculous enough to actually convey what I'm trying to say in terms of it's not safe at all. There's a reason it's precipitously downhill throughout the years. Although I'm sure they'll be good next year. Some of those Chicago Bears, they'll be good next year, I'm told. That's a sports balls joke because, yeah, they'll never be good again. At least my 3 cents. Now, interestingly enough, they were founded in 1869. They were actually founded and owned by the Rowland family for 6 generations. So, in terms of being a family company, that's something to greatly admire. Most businesses, as well as generational wealth, are usually destroyed to second and third generations, an overwhelming majority of the time. So to see something that still has a family connection, that's my 3 cents. That's pretty cool. I kind of, as a youth might say, that's groovy. I believe that's a common term. And the company said that Jelly Beans now come in 100 flavors, including a line of sports beans, and distributed in more than 60 countries, which, I mean, realistically, I can't imagine the last time I purchased a jelly bean since I'm an adult. Nevertheless, I remember as a child, they were quite popular because of the Harry Potter books. They had the Bertie Bott's every flavor beans, and of course, brilliant licensing. Jelly Belly actually did an agreement with J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, and they had those fun little novelty jelly beans with a weird oddity of flavors for quite some time. When was the last time you purchased them? I again, not in living memory. But nevertheless, I know it's a very popular candy. And when asked for additional comment, they said, quote, as we are considering the future of the Jelly Belly company, we have been steadfast in our commitment to create a win-win situation for our employees, our consumers, and our products. Unquote. This is from Harold Rowland Sr., the chairman of the board of directors of Jelly Belly, said in a statement, quote, quote, when I met with the Ferrara team, I recognized a like-minded group that shares our knowledge, our passion for the candy business, as a talent and resources to grow our products and the careers of our people around the world. I'm confident to the continued success of Jelly Belly as part of the Ferrara portfolio, unquote. So it'll be interesting to see, maybe perhaps, and again, in terms of successful acquisitions throughout the centuries, kind of few and far in between in terms of, when I say the success, I mean really maintaining the brand, the original brand, the integrity, the quality. Not all times, but many times they precipitously go down after an acquisition. Now, there have been a couple successful ventures throughout the years or partnerships throughout the years, but they're kind of few and far in between. Now, in this case, perhaps they'll just have a lot of savings because, again, what all these candies have in common, high fructose corn syrup. It's the crap that comes from out of the corn that, ironically, you can't even eat. If you were to go up to the corn stalk and try to eat it, you can't. It's engineered specifically for industry, like putting it into candy and making ethanol, ridiculously enough. So there are a lot of savings when you have all these brands under one roof. That means you can buy things in bulk even more. So even more high fructose corn syrup, maybe 3 natural flavors, and a whole myriad of chemicals. Now, when you're buying in bulk, there's a lot of savings, just like when you and I go to the Costco or the big box mart. The bigger stuff you buy in quantity, usually the lower price per unit. So that might be a great benefit to jelly beans, and hopefully they found some way for the family to continue to stay involved and ensure that they're still a part of the business. And it'll be interesting to see, but for now, it sounds like a little sad business news, but perhaps long term, it'll be great and we'll all be able to, well, I won't enjoy it, but I'm sure some children will be able to enjoy the joy that is Jelly Belly. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time in to do today. Don't forget to take time to like, subscribe, and comment. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of October, so you can click that button. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, the comments and the feedback make the show better and better, and I appreciate it, even if it's critical, because that's how you improve the most, I would argue. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.